Headlines of VTV News. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính sets out taxed to develop stock market in 2024. POLITBURO wants infrastructure investment intensified. And later on in our world news, India-Japan joint exercise Dharm Guardian commences in Rajasthan.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Hello and welcome to VTV News, coming live to you from Hanoi. You with me, Lina Pham, and here's the top news of the hour. On Cambodia's successful election of the Senate on February the 25th, General Secretary of the Communist Party of Vietnam, Nguyễn Phú Trọng, sent a letter of congratulations to the President of the Cambodian People's Party, CPP, Samdech Techo Hun Sen. In the letter, General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng sent warm congratulations on the great success of the fifth term election, where the Cambodian People's Party won a landslide victory. The party leader emphasized that the election results once again affirm the role and position of the Cambodian People's Party under the leadership of Samdech Techo Hun Sen. Party leader Nguyễn Phú Trọng said he believes that what has been achieved, plus the abundant experience and support of the Cambodians, the Cambodian People's Party will continue to gain greater achievements in protecting, building, and developing Cambodia. He affirmed that Vietnam will continue to do its best together with Cambodia to preserve and nurture the good relationship between the two countries, benefiting the two peoples and contributing to peace, stability, cooperation, and development in the region and the wider world. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính chaired the conference on Wednesday to set out tasks to develop the stock market in 2024. Addressing the event, the Prime Minister emphasized the government always focuses on designing policies to protect the legal and legitimate rights and interests of entities related to the stock market. More to follow.
In 2023, the stock market further demonstrated its efficacy as a crucial economic channel, seeing a total capital mobilization nearing $17 million, a surge of almost 34% compared to the previous year. Over the last decade, the market has continuously expanded, facilitating the mobilization of medium and long-term capital for the economy, totaling 3.8 VND. Notably, the market's capitalization has grown significantly, increasing from 33.5% of GDP in 2010 to over 58% by the conclusion of 2023.
In the past 2 years, the stock market has faced many challenges. However, with the leadership of the government and the Ministry of Finance, the market began to recover, seeing a 12% year-on-year growth. Thanks to that, investors and relevant players in the stock market have regained confidence.
Speaking at the conference, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh thanked and appreciated relevant entities in developing Vietnam's stock market, contributing to the country's economic development. Reflecting on key milestones and achievements attained over the past 25 years, the Prime Minister underscored the pivotal role of stock and bond market development in driving economic growth. He noted that the party and state have designed many guidelines, institutions, mechanisms, and policies to promote the stock market development. To further boost the market's vitality, the government has issued 28 related decrees and regulations, and at the end of last year, the Prime Minister approved the stock market development strategy until 2030.
I update the stock market results every day, because the stock market reflects the health of the economy and businesses as well as the effectiveness of state management. The government is always interested in safeguarding the legitimate rights and interests of investors and entities related to the stock market.
The Prime Minister also frankly indicated a number of shortcomings and limitations related to the Vietnamese stock market, such as the unsynchronized legal framework, price manipulation and stock manipulation, leading to detriment to investors and market confidence. During his speech, the Prime Minister emphasized 6 important tasks to develop the Vietnamese stock market in a transparent, comprehensive, sustainable, and effective manner.
First, Vietnam need to further maintain sovereignty, unity, political stability, social order, and safety. Second, policies must be consistent, timely, appropriate, and practical. Third, the state management must be conducted openly, transparently, and in accordance with market rules. Fourth, the government and functional agencies always protect the legal and legitimate rights and interests of relevant entities. Fifth, the government makes effort to upgrade the stock market status. Sixth, it's necessary to strengthen the connection between the state, investors, and society to foster stock market infrastructure and ecosystem.
Also at the event, the Prime Minister urged relevant ministries and agencies to deploy necessary measures so that the Vietnam stock market will be upgraded to emerging status by 2025, aiming to attract indirect investment capital of about $25 billion per year.
Deputy Prime Minister Trần Hồng Hà attended a ceremony in Phan Thiết City on Wednesday to unveil Bình Thuan's planning for the 2021 to 2030 period with a vision to 2050. He said Bình Thuan has outstanding advantages of geographical location and sea, and that the planning orients the provincial development in connection with the South Central Coast and other regions. According to the General Statistics Office, Bình Thuan's GRDP increased 8.1% last year, putting it at number 14 of 63 provinces and cities nationwide, and number 4 of 14 provinces and cities in the North Central and Central Coast region. The province's average income per capita per year is estimated at $3,500. Public investment into transport infrastructure has set a new record. Milestones have been completed in sequence. As a result, the construction processes of many projects has accelerated. The POLITBURO has issued Conclusion 72, promoting the development of a synchronized infrastructure system to transform Vietnam into an industrialized and modern economy. More in the following.
The site clearance process for this project has been completed. The Tuan Quang Hargiang Expressway project section in Hargiang province has finished 30 to 40% the set target.
We start constructing right after the site clearance process. To date, we have reached about 40% of the road base. Bridges and culvert parts will be done before the rainy season this year.
In 2024, we will complete over 90% of the road base, and by January 2025, we will basically complete the project.
Simultaneously, the section in Tuan Quang province, with a length of 77 kilometers, has also been constructed. The site clearance work for this section is over 70%, giving contractors the opportunity to mobilize full forces in more than 40 construction sites.
This year, the road base and about 22 bridges will be done.
There have been 34 major projects and 86 national transportation projects implemented in 46 provinces and cities. The Politburo also urged ministries and agencies to review the current mechanisms and policies and issue new ones to shorten the land clearance and compensation process and separate land clearance and resettlement support from already planned infrastructure investment projects to speed up project execution. Apart from administrative reforms, the Politburo said, the investment and business environment must be further improved to facilitate the participation of the private sector, while the investment decision-making authority must be delegated to leaders.
The Vietnam International Trade Fair for Apparel, Textiles and Textile Technologies, VIATT, opened on Wednesday at the Saigon Exhibition and Convention Center in Ho Chi Minh City. The fair has over 500 exhibitors from 16 countries and territories, including the UK, Germany, the US, Switzerland, Japan, and the Republic of Korea. According to the organizers, the fair is part of the Texpertise series, a network connecting more than 500,000 participants from 11 countries and more than 50 international trade fairs on textiles. It provides opportunities for enterprises to participate in the production chain of global textile and garment companies and develop the value chain from production of raw materials and accessories to final products. The textile, garment, and footwear industry is experiencing a surge in new orders. Specifically in Norte Province, many businesses are hiring additional workers to increase production activities and meet the industry's growing demands.
Despite having 30,000 employees across its branches, this company is still looking to hire more workers to meet the rising order volume.
We are delighted that orders are returning, and as a result, we need to hire 700 additional workers. We recruited some before TET, and we are still seeking more workers.
On the other hand, this company is working an extra hour overtime to keep up with new orders, signifying good business.
Though we only have short-term orders in the first quarter, it is still quite stable.
According to the Provincial Labor Confederation, recruitment demands increase. Many companies report a need for an additional 1,000 to 2,500 workers.
We are expanding our production lines and hiring more workers to promptly fulfill orders.
According to the Employment Service Center of Dong Nai Province, businesses have sought to hire nearly 16,000 workers in various occupations since the start of the year. Notably, the textile, garment, and footwear industry alone has posted a demand for 9,000 workers, accounting for more than half of the province's total needs.
Science and technology are aiding farmers in achieving higher productivity while helping reduce costs for irrigation, water, and plant protection chemicals. This achievement is made possible thanks to farmers producing along value chains. A closed-loop potato production model in the Central Highlands is delivering high economic efficiency, helping many farmers prosper.
The workload of these potato growers has been significantly reduced thanks to the application of modern technology in important stages such as spraying fertilizer and watering. With soaring productivity, the potato field owner expected to gain a profit of $120,000.
I save a lot of time and money while spraying pesticides thanks to the spraying drones. I expect to harvest 27 to 29 tons per hectare.
The closed-loop potato production model in Jiaolite has surpassed the expectations of numerous farmers. In 2023, the average yield reached 30 to 34 tons per hectare. Additionally, the utilization of drones has significantly decreased the amount of water mixed with pesticides by over 10 times. Notably, in 2023, 6,000 tons of potatoes from this model were exported for the first time.
We should invest in producing value-added agricultural products. For example, in addition to producing fresh potatoes, we also need to grow potatoes for the processing industry.
At the workshop summarizing the activities of the PPP Working Group on Fruits and Vegetables recently held in Jiaolite, partners committed to continue accompanying Central Highlands farmers in developing a sustainable potato value chain.
Our company believes that farmers play an essential role in working with partners to apply the latest technology in agricultural production.
By applying new scientific advances in potato production, farmers can increase their productivity by 10 to 15% compared to traditional solutions. At the same time, it helps reduce drug residues and ensure agricultural product safety.
Boosting linking production and innovative thinking in food production are policies that the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development is planning to promote this year. These measures are expected to improve the farmers' income and rural businesses by 2 to 3 times by 2030 compared to 2020.
Coming up next, Vietnamese tourists exempt from visa to the Republic of Korea province until March 2025. And efforts to build a decent and elegant society in Hanoi.
When it comes to business, it's crucial to choose a smart location with global impact. And Vietnam might just be the location for you. Connect worldwide to advanced logistics networks. Smart hub for technology and innovation. A dynamic business ecosystem. An environment with a competitive edge.
You're watching VTV News. The 2024 spring meeting between party secretaries of Lạng-Sơn, Quảng Ninh, Hà Giang, and Cao Bằng provinces and the Guangxi Chuang Autonomous Region of China was held on Wednesday morning. At the event, the participants agreed to implement the action plan period 2024 to 2026, discussed in depth the measures to enhance mutual understanding and trust, promote substantive cooperation in all fields, address the difficulties and obstacles during the process of cooperation, together build a border of peace, stability, and friendship, helping to develop the Vietnam-China Comprehensive Strategic Partnership in a stable and healthy fashion. Temporary visa-free entry to Muan Airport has been extended until March the 31st, 2025 for groups of up to 5 people from Vietnam, the Philippines, and Indonesia, South Jeolla province of the Republic of Korea said on Tuesday. The provincial administration said the Korean Ministry of Justice has allowed it to extend the visa exemption period for tourists traveling in groups arriving at Muan International Airport until March 2025. The 15-day visa exemption has been in place since last March to attract travelers from Southeast Asia. Data from card payment published by BC Card last year showed that the number of card payments by Vietnamese tourists to South Jeolla province in the first half of 2023 increased 300% over the same period in 2022, contributing significantly to the local economy. Sóc Trăng is one of the regions significantly impacted by deep saline intrusion. Since the beginning of February, the saline concentration along the Hậu River has penetrated almost 50 kilometers into the province. Local authorities are urgently addressing the situation to minimize risks to agricultural production during this year's dry season.
According to the Long Phu District Irrigation Management Station, the highest measured salinity level is 12 parts per thousand. Currently, all 30 salinity prevention sluices in the area have been sealed to prevent saltwater intrusion.
We have dispatched staff to measure salinity 4 times a day. We have also updated our measurements in the system and promptly informed the public through mass media channels.
In Cù Lao Dung, the district monitors the salinity levels at all 26 large sluices, 200 small sluices, and along 81 kilometers of salinity prevention dikes. This ensures the safety of over 3,000 hectares of various types of produce land.
In recent years, the district has invested in sewer and dike infrastructure to prevent salinity effectively and store fresh water to protect our farmland.
Some effective measures include alternating between wet and dry irrigation, using slow-release fertilizers, and using foliar fertilizers. These contain many necessary substances and active ingredients to increase crops' resistance to drought and salinity.
The forecast indicates that saline intrusion in Sóc Trăng will be unpredictable, with salinity potentially reaching 0.1 to 0.5 parts per thousand higher than the same period. The Provincial Department of Agriculture and Rural Development has issued an urgent request to functional branches and local authorities seeking assistance to protect farmers' production.
In an article commemorating the 94th anniversary of the founding of the Communist Party of Vietnam, General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng reaffirmed the party's direction in which people hold the central position in the development strategy and culture and innovation are the driving force behind growth and success. This is also the direction of Hanoi. The city has issued Directive 30 on strengthening the leadership of the party committee on building elegant and civilized Hanoi people. Many good models and practices have been implemented in residential communities and schools. More in the following.
Having started from the idea of opening a small library under the communal staircase 20 years ago, people of the residential building A3 in Ca Gi district donate their old books and newspapers. This small library has gradually become a familiar reading space for residents.
We come here also to support each other. We unite in developing this library, as well as building a more civilized cultural lifestyle in this residential area.
This idea has spread to other residential buildings in the capital city. This is one of many measures to build a civilized and elegant society implemented by the city.
For years, the city's party committees have developed many resolutions on culture, which pay attention to human development and create positive changes in the society.
The set of learning materials for building civilized and elegant society has been taught for many years in schools, aiming to nurture and foster ethics and lifestyle for future generations.
Teachers tell us ways to behave and become a decent and elegant citizen.
Students are taught not only knowledge, but also about culture and how to become decent citizens.
Building an elegant and civilized society, blending traditional elegance with modern civilization. These are not things that can be done overnight. It requires the cooperation of all citizens.
In Norte Province, the sight of a sky painted with colorful kites evokes cherished childhood memories for many. Kite flying has emerged as a popular pastime, bringing joy to many locals and children alike. Our upcoming report promises to bring you back to those nostalgic days where the sky is adorned with exotic, magnificent, and poetic kites.
This is a 50 meters long dragon kite. It took this man over 2 months to complete the stunning kite. Every intricate detail was meticulously crafted by his skillful hands, showcasing his dedication and persistence.
I've loved flying kites since I was a kid. In the past, I often made kites using cement paper and old notebooks. Now, the materials to make kites are more diverse and available everywhere. Whenever I see a soaring kite on the wide sky, it reminds me of sweet childhood memories.
Due to his burning passion for kite flying, Theo has crafted countless kites with multiple shapes and sizes for the past 30 years.
Even though kite flying doesn't bring any profit, it gives me the positivity and moments of relaxation after a hard-working day.
This is the collection of 5 kites by a man from Chothang district, Norte Province. Flying 5 kites on a single string is no small feat, but overcoming this challenge brings indescribable joy.
It's such a fascinating experience when seeing my kites flying in the sky. It's even more worthwhile to witness how children fancy my kites.
In addition to these giant kites, there are also hundreds of kites of different sizes, showcasing both traditional and modern designs. The kite player's passion and creativity play a crucial role in preserving the folk game, providing an exciting outdoor activity for young children who have been growing up in the digital world.
Coming up next in our world news. India-Japan joint exercise Dharm Guardian commences in Rajasthan. What's the secret to live a long and happy life like people in Japan's blue zone? Stay with us. The 5th edition of the joint military exercise Dharm Guardian between the Indian Army and the Japanese Ground Self-Defense Forces commenced on Sunday at Mahajan Field Firing Range in Rajasthan. The objective of the exercise is to promote military cooperation and enhance joint capabilities to conduct joint operations in semi-urban environments under Chapter 7 of the United Nations mandate. The Japanese contingent is being represented by soldiers of the 34th Infantry Regiment, and the Indian Army contingent is being represented by a battalion of the Japutana Rifles. Both sides have 40 military personnel each. The exercise will include setting up a temporary operating base, intelligence gathering, surveillance, and pre-trial preparation, setting up mobile vehicle checkposts, executing cordon and search operations in a hostile village, heliborne operations, and house intervention drills. This is an opportunity for India to show off its weapons and military equipment, showing the country's growing capacity to produce defense equipment. The exercise is expected to last 2 weeks and end on March the 9th. At least 1/4 of Gaza's population, 576,000 people, are one step away from famine, and virtually the entire population desperately needs food, resulting in 8 trucks being shot at, looted, and overwhelmed by hungry people. This is according to United Nations officials in a meeting on Tuesday. The officials from the UN Humanitarian Office and the UN's Food and Agriculture organizations painted a dire picture of all 2.3 million people in Gaza facing crisis levels of food insecurity and civil order breaking down, especially in the north, where food and other humanitarian supplies are scarce. 1 in 6 children under the age of 2 in northern Gaza suffers from acute malnutrition and wasting. The U.S. has announced an additional humanitarian assistance of $53 million for Palestinian people affected by the conflict in Gaza and the West Bank, bringing the total amount of humanitarian assistance for Palestine by the U.S. government since October last year to more than $180 million. Blue Zone is a name to refer to lands with a clean environment, beautiful nature, and residents who live long and healthy lives. There are only 5 blue zones in the entire world, and Origimi Village in Japan's Okinawa Prefecture is such a place. Locals have an average life expectancy of over 86 years old, which is quite impressive, while the global average life expectancy is 72. Therefore, Origimi Village attracts special attention from scientists and international tourists.
Origimi Village is located in the northern countryside of the main island of Japan's Okinawa Prefecture. Among about 3,000 locals in Origimi Village, there are 17 centenarians and more than 170 people who are in their 90s. Master Chinen Kenyu is turning 86 years old this year. At this age, he is still considered a young man in the village. Although he is busy running dozens of karate teaching facilities in Japan, Canada, and European countries, he still maintains the habit of practicing martial arts every day for the past 60 years.
We are human beings made of flesh and blood, so getting sick and dying is natural. But when practicing karate, my mind is always determined that I will not lose. Practicing this martial art helps me think positively and always look forward.
People in Origimi Village always find appropriate ways to exercise every day. This lady quickly clears the grass and cuts vegetables in her garden. For those who meet her for the first time, Miyagi Hana is hardly a 100-years-old lady. Having worked as a farmer for decades, the occupation has helped the lady to raise her 10 children.
My parents had me when they were young, so I had to work as a farmer from a young age to support myself. After getting married, I had 5 daughters and 5 sons. Now, I have many children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. I feel happy.
In Origimi Village, there are community associations and groups that bring people together with common interests. Being willing to support and help each other are among reasons why Origimi people have a healthy and happy lifespan.
In Okinawa, the Ikigai ideology is strong. In reality, people are always optimistic. The important thing is that people set life goals. These are what they need, and what is the meaning of living a life. They care nothing about how long they live.
According to the Japanese Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare, Okinawa is the land with the highest happiness index in Japan. Rates of heart disease, stroke, and cancer among residents of Origimi Village are the lowest in the world.
Now let's take a look at the weather forecast. That's it for this edition of VTV News. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye and see you again at 3 p.m. local time.